Hi, I'm Fred Merkel, and I'm here at Fantastic Wellness in my studio here in Jewett City, Connecticut. Welcome back. There are various sound healing facilitators that do sound meditations, and each one has their own subset of tools and sound instruments, each beautiful in its own way. Here, what I have laid out in front of me is really the tools that I use in mine. I mean, yes, I have some things on my punch list that I'd love to get, but it's I've been blessed to be able to have what we have here in front of me. Oftentimes, people will ask, "Well, gee, at the end, I've heard this one particular sound. What was that?" And so I want to introduce and show everyone the different tools that I use, the different sounds that they make. Some are rather obvious, some are like, oh. So at any rate, here we go. The first thing is typically when I open up a sound healing meditation, I like to open up with a Cherokee healing drum. And this drum that I have here is is a moose hide drum. And what makes it rather unique is rather than having just the cross to grab hold of, this actually has a unique handle, and you can kind of see it. So you can kind of hold it like that, or actually I like to put my hand on and actually just grab it like that. With what makes this unique with this hide patch is, I used to think that, gee, this would block the sound, but what happens is that the sound kind of reverberates and then comes out. So now if you use it for, say, for shamanic healing or such like that, there you can really feel the thrust of the vibration. Again, this is a moose hide a drum. And I got it for a couple of reasons. One, moose hide is thicker. Plus, it's also as far as making your own medicine, using a shamanic term. That's an animal that's common to the East Coast of the United States. And I also had this wolf painted on. Now there are people who have asked and said, "Gee, have you named a wolf?" And over time, I kept thinking about it. Nothing came to mind. Nothing came to mind until this past weekend, where I got a little nostalgic, especially with some of the cartoons. And for those of you who maybe remember Rocky and Bullwinkle, well, this year I'm calling my Rocky and Bullwinkle drum, where the wolf himself is Rocky, and Bullwinkle, well, that's his hide. Now I often like to start with a simulated heartbeat sound. And then maybe let's switch to a steadier beat. You keep doing that for some time. I've been to drumming circles, and there that already, if you say that, helps to put you in a meditative state. I like to use this for opening as well as for closing, because here's how we started the meditation. We go on a journey. We go maybe with different sounds, different things that go around, and then we come back with the sound of the drum. There's another unique part, and I use this here before incorporating the koshi chimes. I'll talk about the koshi chimes in a moment. But there are sometimes, like you may have heard, like a bit of a wind. You can use your voice. And matter of fact, depending, like even if it's maybe the simulate a spring day, where I would say you maybe listen to the birds. And so you'd be something like, and now if I'm even working with a group of kids, I even like to finish off with this one here from a little clip from Georgia the Jungle. So you could probably go something like, Tuki. That's, yeah, the Tuki bird from George of the Jungle. So anyways, the Koshi chimes, these is such a so lovely that I had these over a year ago, and these are actually Japanese wind chimes. The frame itself is bamboo. Inside, and I don't know if you can really see or not, are 8 stainless steel rods. And each one of these chimes are actually geared and set up to be in tone with a said element. Like this one here is earth. The next one is water. This one here is air. This one is fire. And what's unique, or what I was told, is that that the water and the air are in a minor key. And usually I like to start that at the beginning of a meditation, because now in a minor key, that's a little bit, and if you say mochi, that's kind of a little sad. Well, it could be maybe put like a softer or a sullen tone on things. And so the thing is really wanting to relax. And they're beautiful to listen to. As a matter of fact, what's interesting is, I like a little story I like, is when I was looking to get these, well, these I know are, even though they're Japanese wind chimes, they're made in the foothills of the Pyrenees Mountains in France. And I was searching around for trying to get the best price, and I found a place online called GaiaChimes.com. Come to find out, after my debit card bounced, that it's an international site. So the e-commerce site was actually in Dublin, Ireland. After I made the purchase of the set, I got a shipping notification, and it was shipped from a warehouse in Frankfurt, Germany. So hence the moral of this story is think globally, act locally. So with these being with the water and the air in a minor key, that I like to open. But now also at the end, I like to use the earth and the fire. And these are supposedly in a major key. So major is something bright, it's happy, kind of like wakey wakey. Unfortunately, here comes now the end of our session. And so, especially when you're late, if you're settling back, and then just to hear that tone, it's almost angelic. Now, there's one sound that I'm sure that most people hadn't mistaken, and that is that of the Tibetan singing bowls. Now, typically, well, because I'm just trying to show off everything, I only have a small subset. So basically, I have I have 9 bows, but typically I do 12, sometimes 13 Tibetan bows laid out, and I got them in different sets. But like maybe this would be this tone would be familiar. And you can obviously it can be mixed up. There are some that I have different sizes, different tones, different frequencies, and that this is one set there that's about average about 6 or 7 inches in diameter. Here, this one, this is my pride and joy. This is my 12-inch bowl. This I a long time ago, initially I named Big Bertha. It clocks in at 103 hertz and resonates to the key of G. Now there's also a lot more to the Tibetan singing bowls because they have undertones, they have overtones. There's so many different types of tones, but basically the primary note is G. And so what you're hearing now is the undertone, and then it even has some nice overtones. Now this is my largest bowl. Something that I also have, which I purchased, and this was actually at the recommendation of my singing bowl teacher, Marie Manu, where she suggested maybe getting a small set of bowls. So this way, say if you're working with children, which I do, as well as also, maybe if you go to, well, we can't do hospital visits. It's not such there with the physical distancing. But normally, if you were to go visit somebody in a hospital or such, you can have a small set of bowls. And so I have some of these here. And actually, what's really cool is the light, the compact, and you can still do a 4-bowl sound healing on somebody. But I just want to show you the difference between. So like those are if you say my baby bowl set, and you probably heard it at one point in the sequence in the previous video where it was. And for comparison, this happens to be, if you can see it, happens to be my smallest bowl, 2.5 inches in diameter in comparison to my largest. So you have my largest. Ooh. And the smallest. And it has a nice little, and what's beautiful is that this you can gong it and you can sing it. So that's the bowls. Now now I also like to mix in several other types of instruments. And what I have here, this is an 8-inch quartz crystal pyramid. And this is really great there, especially, this is what I use on individual clients, especially to be here on the table and you can go over, but it sounds something like this. And then if you even spin it like this a bit there, that gives a bit of a oscillating sound. And even if you gently strike it on a riser, that gives a different tone. And so that's a crystal pyramid. Okay, next. Oh, partway through, I also have a bell and dorji. The description and uses of this will come up in another video, another discussion. And you can either wait for me, or if you can search out my friend Ed Cleveland. He is very learned, and I've learned so much from him, as well as Marie Manu. And there you can pick up more. And basically, the bell and the dorji was used by the monks in order to meditate. But I like to use this also, and I took a bit of practice. It has a little clanger inside. And so I kind of like to use it there, almost like a like a ship's bell. And this one happens to also sing very beautifully. Next, what I generally do, or I mean, I'll kind of intermingle between playing some of the bows, doing some things, and then I'll just introduce something different. Now, what I have here next is a rain stick, but it isn't just any old rain stick. This is a 48-inch rain stick. It may say, gee, why so long? Why so big? Well, the thing is that they're made up of some are made with cactuses. Some like this here has little nails, and then when you turn it, it has the little beads or whatever that's inside there run down and simulate that rain noise. Now, there's some beautifully painted ones and very ornate ones that they make for kids, and they're probably about 18 inches long. Maybe about yay big. However, there isn't much distance for the internal media, the travel, and there isn't as much. So if you take it, you kind of go. So you got to be careful. So, but what you could do is you could take it. Oh, here I'm just holding it, letting it go, and letting it go, and letting it go, and then actually go a little bit more, a little bit more. I mean, if I go vertical, it goes down. But little trick, especially if you have a shorter one, is from horizontal. If you maybe go up about maybe 30 degrees or so, and then just start to rotate it. As you rotate it, there now the media will start falling, and it takes some practice in order to be constant, to be consistent. And after knowing your instrument, you can kind of tell when the beads are almost down the other end. And then if you're real good, you can kind of just switch like that. Keep it turning, keep it going. But then what that does is you can just keep this sound going constant. All right, now there's another thing that I love, and this here is an ocean drum. Now this ocean drum, it's actually is made by Remo, and it's a frame drum. But if I can kind of tough to see, but if I kind of go like this, but there's a bunch of BBs down here, and what happens is that as you move it, it makes a sound. Now, it takes a lot of practice in order to be able to pick this up and get it to move without sounding too harsh or abrupt. But when you start it up, you're able to get it. And it'd be just as if you're at the ocean. And if you want to get good at it, actually, if you go to some place that has a high surf, I know the Connecticut shoreline, you go to Long Island Sound, well, that's pretty gentle. But if you go out to Rhode Island, I like to go to East Beach out by Watch Hill or Mesquamaket, now is not the time of year, the water is very cold. But it's great that if you walk out to the surf, maybe go knee deep, and now you just kind of go, close your eyes, and just go listen to the surf, and then also simulate what you have there. All right, and now to finish up, After just before, I also have more Brown's tools. I also have a set of tinctures, and with these, I at least now it's the season, so this way you're not bothering the nagas. That's also another thing. But now you can use that now during the season in order to close. And as an alternative, also have another little chime, a little bar chime, and it's very oftentimes a yoga teacher will use this in order to maybe mark the inner shavasana, where it's like, okay, unfortunately, as much as you like to lay there, as much as you like to chill, as much as you like to go relax, it's like, okay, it's time to come back to reality. So that in the essence is really the little long and short of it, just showing the different pieces, the different things. There's a lot more. Actually, I'll be doing more videos, and actually, it'll be not only with what I do with sound healing meditations, but even what I do with individuals, treatments. I also work with tuning forks, with singing bowls, myriad of other things, and that I'll address in future videos. So take care. Have a great evening. Namaste.